Good morning, everyone. Thanks for being here. Sorry to hold you up. I'm very pleased to be here this morning with, and you're going to hear from both Wei Chen, who is a Peace First Prize winner, and Eric Dawson, president and co-founder of Peace First. We're here to acknowledge Wei Chen, a champion of peace, for his efforts in making and helping to make South Philadelphia High School a safer and more welcoming community. And we, like many other students, has brought attention to the ongoing concern of safety in our city schools, and I think all of you know that's certainly a concern that I share. Safety in our city schools is a top priority for me and for all of us here in the city government, and certainly over at the school district and the SRC. In response to some violent incidents at South Philadelphia High School in 2009 and 10, and the concerns that developed even this summer after a number of our schools were either closed or consolidated, the city has taken a number of steps to help ensure that every student at all of our schools have the opportunity to learn in a safe and welcoming, nurturing environment. The Commission on Human Relations conducted a series of public hearings and released a report which included recommendations on how the school district can improve conflict resolution among various individuals and groups. Many of the report's recommendations have been implemented already, and including the participation of Rue Landau, the Executive Director of the Commission on Human Relations, on the School Reform Commission's Safety and Engagement Subcommittee. This subcommittee works with principals and assistant principals to improve school climate and culture, improve the understanding of the effects of trauma and the impact that trauma can have on learning, and create alternatives to discipline. I then established the Mayor's Youth Safety Task Force, which is an open forum for students and student-run groups to tell me directly about their concerns and provide recommendations on how to address those concerns. I meet with the task force on a regular basis. As a way to ensure our students have safe routes to travel to and from their new schools or current schools, we established Walk Safe PHL, which utilizes volunteers to escort children to and from school throughout the day. And our administration is advocating for changes to public safety funding because adequate school funding is not only critical in the provision of high-quality education, but it's also vital to the safety and well-being of our students. Pennsylvania school districts operate at a severe disadvantage. We are one of only 3 states that does not have a student-weighted statewide funding formula. And I will continue to push for what is fair for every Philadelphia and Pennsylvania student from the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, and an increase in the basic education subsidy and a new funding formula that considers the number of students in a school district and their varying needs to determine funding. This is a group effort, and the city government cannot solve these issues by ourselves. WE's efforts, partnered with good work of many, many others, has led to change at South Philadelphia High School under the new leadership of Principal Otis Hackney. We organized a peaceful boycott of his school and successfully filed a civil rights complaint with the Department of Justice. But that's not all. He founded the Chinese Student Association at South Philly High. He worked with the Philadelphia Student Union to organize an anti-violence march and helped to found the Campaign for Nonviolent Schools, which advocates for fair school discipline policies and fair school funding. We need more individuals like we to push the adults in our city to pay attention to these very serious issues. Schools should be a place where students feel the safest. I want to thank Wei for his leadership on this issue. And now, ladies and gentlemen, a Peace First award-winning young person in our city, Wei Chen.
Thank you for coming today. And thank you, Mayor Lada, for honoring me and recognizing my work. And many thanks to Peace First and Peace First President, all the way calling from Boston this morning. The Peace First means a lot to me. The Peace First is a big recognition for the work I did, and big encouragement to support me to learning more and doing more. I have a responsibility to continue and doing more work to serve my community, to building a strong leadership in it. 4 years ago, when I was a student at South Philadelphia High School, I started working on the school violence. It was not easy for me as an immigrant student who speaks limited English. But with the support from the community organizations like Asian American United and Victim Witness Service of South Philadelphia, I was able to work with my peer to challenge school violence and change our condition of the betters. Also, in this 4 years, I have been challenged in many ways, such as finding different kind of part-time jobs to support myself while continue working with the Chinese immigrant youth. The Peace First Fellowship is a great opportunity for me to focus developing youth programs and building new leaderships. As for what I am going to do in the future, I will continue to share my story and experience with the bias violence and encourage youth to take action to challenge the issue around us. Also, we want to create an anti-bias violence campaign to collect more stories and connect people one to the others. As a youth organizer who has been recognized as a peacemaker, one of my duties is to making more peacemakers. Thank you for coming today. And we have the next we have the Peace First President, Eric.
Thank you for coming, and a special thank you to Mayor Nutter, who is not only a leader on issues related to education, but is someone who believes in what he does and the way he breathes in the power of young people to be a force for good in our city. And that is the core of the problem that Peace First is so interested in, that we tend to think about young people as either victims that we need to protect or problems that we need to incarcerate and medicate. And what we believe very deeply is that young people like we and other young people throughout the city of Philadelphia are deeply committed to doing good in their communities. Our job is to give them the spark in which to do that. We's an amazing example. So first of all, you need to know that we got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of applications from 48 states and the District of Columbia. And we is one of 10 young people who's receiving a $50,000 two-year Peace First Fellowship to support his work here in Philadelphia. What moved us about We's work, so he was brutally bullied at his school for the fact he couldn't speak English. And there's one day where 26 students were assaulted at his school, 13 of whom had to go to the hospital. But We's insight was it actually wasn't the fault of the kids who were hurting him and picking on him, but that there was a culture that needed to change. There's a culture that allows that kind of behavior to happen, that supports that kind of violence, and it's subtle and it's pervasive. And so in leading this walkout, this peaceful walkout of his school, what he was saying is not that these are bad kids or these are bad schools, but an invitation for all of us to join together to reimagine the kind of schools that are worthy of our children. And that's what we mean when we talk about peacemaking, is that commitment to compassion, to crossing lines of difference, to courage, to standing up and taking a risk, and then collaborative change, mobilizing other people to do good in the world. We is a shining example of what's possible when young people are given the resources, the time, the attention, and taken seriously to be those agents for good, those agents for peace, and those agents for justice. We're now getting ready to launch our second Peace First Prize in January, and we would love to see hundreds of young people from here in Philadelphia submitting their applications to tell their stories, because these are the stories that are common. We just don't hear them. So I appreciate everyone being here to hear We's story. Thanks again to the mayor and your staff for your fearless and tireless effort, not only on behalf of young people, but with young people. It is truly inspiring. Thank you.
Eric, thank you very much, and again, congratulations. As we discussed in my office, in addition to the great work that we know you will continue, just at a personal level, I want to continue to encourage you you've already started college, and we need to make sure that you continue on and finish up those studies. You have now the wonderful responsibility of trying to figure out how to not only do what you love, but also to do what you need to do, which is continue on and finish with your studies. It's a wonderful thing about growing up. You have to figure out how to balance all of those responsibilities. We are excited about you and want to commend you here today. We all of us would be pleased to take any questions that you might have about this particular announcement and recognition for a fine young person here in our great city. Mike. What are you going to do with the money?
Oh, so the most money going to support my salary to support my salary. Yeah, because for me, what I'm doing in the year. So we have we are in the transform to from a youth program to a long-term campaign youth program, which we want to do something with a real action and with building more leadership. And I'm going to spend time to plan the youth program and to spend more time to meet with the student, to recruit more students in the different school, especially public school. Yeah. So you're taking a year off? Yeah, from college. Yeah, right. And I just one last question. Now that you've been here as president at City Hall, any thoughts of eventually? Well, I believe Mayor would do allow to support us in the future, and I think I going to have a more opportunity. I think Mayor gonna have more, giving me more opportunity to meet with him and talk to him if I have any question, if I have any need.
I think Wei will demonstrate over time that he is much more qualified to do something beyond being mayor of the city of Philadelphia. He can do much better than that. Any other questions about this announcement today? Thanks all for coming, and congratulations one more time to, where did you get to? Oh, to Wei Chen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Very good. Thank you all. Bye-bye.